Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Yes, welcome to another episode of Ask Rob and Rob. This should be one of the most reassuring parts of your week because you know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to hear two wonderful hubbers asking questions, and you're going to hear us giving our best shot at coming up with some answers. Today, Scott and Adam have questions for us, so we'll hear those in just a sec after a quick recap of how you can get your own question in.
Absolutely. So, phone. You can leave us an answer phone message. Nice and easy. So's the number. You probably know it by now, but just in case, 013 808 00035. If you mess up, just record another one. It's completely cool. The other option available to you is going to our wonderful website, propertyhub.net/ask, and leave a recording there. Again, if you mess it up, don't worry, record another one. So no pressure. The pressure is on us to give you some good answers. So let's give that a go.
Hey guys, Scott here. I'm new to property investment. I've been listening to your podcast and really appreciate everything you're putting on here. I'm looking at purchasing a property in Sheffield, which is HMO as a first-time purchase, but I've got a decision in principle from a mortgage lender and I'm going to look at the property next week. But I'm also considering properties in Doncaster, slightly lower value, lower outlay, but really would wonder what you feel about the capital growth potential there as we look to see your predictions on Sheffield, whether we're seeing that move out to Doncaster with the train connections and the links that we have to the other areas, and with a large import of new warehousing facilities such as Amazon and things like that coming into the region. Really value your insight. Thank you once again for your hard work. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Great question, Scott. Thank you very much. Donny, Doncaster. Love it. Great area. Fundamentals galore. You've rightly identified some of them in your message. The fantastic train links, being on the mainline train into London is a big plus. Quick commute times into Leeds as well, another plus. Loads of employment in the area. You mentioned Amazon, but there's so many big employers there already. From a fundamentals point of view, it's a big box ticked. And because of that as well, the returns or yields are fairly attractive as well. As always, stick to the good stuff. We recommend that. Don't go and look for the cheapest stuff in Doncaster now and try and be a bit too clever. But the best areas of Doncaster are still giving nice returns. So when you have a combination of very good fundamentals and good returns, when those two things are in play, it often means that capital growth is on the horizon. And it can come from different areas. That ripple effect you talked about of Sheffield is definitely one of them. Now, when we've talked about Sheffield, we have said it isn't as far along in the cycle as the likes of Manchester, Birmingham, and even Liverpool or Leeds. So it is a little bit further behind. So don't expect barnstorming growth to be coming to Sheffield in the next 12 months. And therefore, that ripple coming to Doncaster will take a little bit of time. That said, I would absolutely invest in Sheffield and Doncaster. I do not believe you're going to have to wait 5 to 10 years to see this. I'm very confident, based on where we are in the cycle right now, that in the next 5 years, you will start to see that capital growth. So a little bit early, yes, but you're rewarded with return. So for me, it's a winner. Just don't go too cheap. Make sure you still do your research. Not all areas are created equal, so you can get bad parts of Doncaster and good parts. Just make sure you pick a good one.
Okay, we're off to a strong start. Great answer there. Now let's see if we can keep that going with this question from Adam.
Hi Robs, Adam calling here from Gloucester. I've just got a quick question following on from your leverage podcast. Basically, what I wanted to know is if you were to buy a property for £100,000 and put down 25%, so put down £25,000, and 2 years later this property is then worth £75,000, so you've lost all your equity, would that mean you are then stuck on that mortgage product? So say, for example, you're on a 2-year fixed mortgage and you wanted to remortgage onto a better product. As you've got no equity in that house then, would that mean that you are then stuck with that company and unable to benefit from a better product? Thanks for everything you put out. Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you, Adam. We love getting follow-up questions on episodes that we've put out in the past. So if you're listening and there's something in a previous episode that you didn't quite understand, that you want to challenge, that you could do with some clarification on, do send in a question for Ask Rob and Rob, because we love these. Adam, in this particular case, you are absolutely right. If you do buy a property, it falls in value and your equity is wiped out, then you are pretty much stuck on that mortgage product. You might be able to do a product transfer with the same lender, but remortgaging isn't going to be an option because your loan to value is going to be effectively 100%. And that's an important point that you brought up, because I think we can sometimes be a bit flippant to say, well, if you're investing for the long term, it doesn't matter if your property goes down in value for periods of time. And generally, if you're just looking at your growth in your rental income over time, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that you want it to happen. This is one very good reason why you're locked into your mortgage. Another reason is, you just don't want it to happen. You don't want for it to take 5-10 years potentially for it to get back to where you started. That's why it's so important to do a few basic things right. Firstly, don't overpay for the property. Secondly, if you can, get a discount on that property or increase its value right at the start so you've given yourself more of a buffer. And thirdly, don't buy in what's called the winner's curse. Don't buy when everything else is going mad, values are at their peak, and really there's only one way in the short term for things to go. If you do those three things, it's very unlikely that your property will fall in value within a few years of you buying it. It almost certainly will fall at some point, but hopefully it'll be far enough in the future that your equity will have increased, therefore the decrease still leaves you with enough loan to value headroom for you to remortgage with another provider. So Adam, hope that answers your question and gives you a little bit of reassurance.
I would like to give you all reassurance that we will be back next week with Ask Rob and Rob. Yay! So we'll be answering 2 more of your wonderful questions then. And before then, we'll be back with the wonderful property podcast. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.